Hi, this is Natchi Lazarus, and today I'm going to talk to you about the future of AI. I know all of you are very smart people. You're already using AI. You may be using AI for text, for video generation, for images, for music, and all sorts of things. I know you are experimenting with AI and playing around with it. And many people will tell you that AI is the future. But I want to go one step further, and I want to give you a fresh perspective that AI is actually the present. AI is not the future. AI is already here. It is the present, not the future. So you have to start looking at what is the next thing that you need to know about generative AI. We all know that generative AI is awesome. There is ChatGPT, there is Claude, there is Gemini, there is Mistral, there is all these amazing tools. There are chatbots, and this can do this and that. And you're talking to AI's advanced voice mode. All these things are already there, right? And many of you listening to me are already using it. So what is next? What is coming for AI, especially with respect to the church? That's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about a topic called agents, AI agents, because that is the future of AI. We need to always look ahead because as a church, we need to always be aware of what is coming. I believe that God wants us to be aware of the future. God wants us to be prepared for the future because as a church, we have this incredible opportunity right now to grow along with this new technology called AI. Because for years, I've been in this for more than 15 years in the faith-based space, 20 years in marketing. And I have seen that constantly as a church, as the body of Christ, we are catching up with technologies. That's what we always do. There was television, then we caught up. We first called television the devil, and we caught up with it. Then we said social media is the devil, then we caught up with it. And for the first time, we have this opportunity to grow along with it. So when we grow along with it, I believe that it's God's heart for us to always look out for the next step and be prepared for it. So that is why I'm excited about this topic today. I'm going to talk to you about AI agents. In today's session, I'm going to cover three things. First, I'm going to give you a background of why this topic is important, what's happening around us. And then I'm going to quickly run you through what are AI agents, give you a very high level perspective of what it is so that you can understand this whole idea of AI agents. And then I'm going to give you the easiest way for you to get started with an idea of using an AI agent, the simplest form of AI agent. I'm going to give you a demo and I'm going to demonstrate how to create a custom AI, which is the first step or a micro level preview to what AI agents are. So that's the agenda for today. So let's dive right in. First, let me give you a bit of context. You all know that AI as a technology started in the early 1950s. Yes, if you didn't know that. Yes, that's how long ago the concept of AI was born. And of course, it has gone through various evolution. It went from being an academic topic, a research topic, to a reality in the late 2000s. And then, as you all know, in November 2022, everything changed with the ChatGPT. And since then, it's been like crazy growth. So as you can see here in this curve, it's been going up, up, and up ever since that happened. Especially this curve is so steep. It actually started going up in 2010. We all know about ChatGPT. We know about Gemini, Copilot, and all the whole ecosystem of AI that is being built on top of all this technology. So as we know, this is evolving right now and it's available. But I am always, like I told you, I'm always interested in the future. So what is next? That's what I'm interested in, right? So as a team, when we look at the news and so on, we are starting to see a pattern. We are starting to see something evolving. Suddenly, the thought leaders that we follow in the industry are starting to talk about something new, right? For example, Andrew is one of the thought leaders that I closely watch because he is a pioneer in this space. He is a Stanford professor And if you're not listening to him, if you're not following him, you should. He is one of the early adapters or early influencers or innovators in this AI space. He's the co-founder of Google Brain, which was one of the very early innovative ventures of Google in the space of AI. He's a co-founder of Coursera and so on. Amazing guy. So here's what he says. He says, what I'm seeing with AI agents is an exciting trend that I believe everyone building AI should pay attention to. Now, when somebody like Andrew says it, you listen, right? And then we started watching this whole concept of AI agents earlier this year, and we started looking at many people talk about it, not just him, but the NVIDIA chief, right? NVIDIA has become one of the most valued companies in the world because the chips that they manufacture has now become an utmost essential thing for the whole AI industry, shooting the value of this organization. And he is the CEO of NVIDIA. And he says agents are the future in a recent interview. And not just him, but Amazon, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, says AI agents will become our digital assistants, helping us navigate the complexities of the modern world. They will make our lives easier and more efficient. Suddenly, the words like they, who are they? As though they're talking about people, and they're saying digital assistants. So suddenly, AI is starting to get some personification, like a person, right? So all these leaders are starting to talk about AI, especially the latest video. Just a few days ago, Mark Zuckerberg talked about AI agents, and he said, we are going to live in a world where there will be hundreds or millions or billions of different agents. And he said, eventually there will be more agents, AI agents in the world than people. That's what he said, right? And when somebody like Mark Zuckerberg talks about a topic, you pay attention because he has all the data in the world, all the billions of people on his social networks, WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook. And so he's not talking out of his head. He's talking out of years of information and what is happening and the trends and so on. So he started talking about agents. And all of them say, look, we are on our way to artificial general intelligence. And we are getting closer and closer. This is where we started, but we are getting closer and closer to the idea of AGI, which is a higher level of the whole AI thing, which behaves like humans. And as we get closer, AI agents is the one that is going to get us to that point. So that is why I want to talk about this to you. So we are moving from generative AI as an era to agentic AI. For example, if you want to create a video, what do? Today you go to Fiverr or all these remote working websites and you hire people to edit your video, right? You hire people to design an image. You hire people to write something. In the same way, you will think about AI agents as somebody to whom you can give a job. That is what agents are, just like insurance agent, banking agent, or an agent that finishes a job for you in the government office or something like that. You will start looking at AI as someone who will finish the work. That is the evolution of AI. So let's get into a little bit of techniques, right? And see what is going on in the background when it comes to AI agents. What is the basic difference between what is happening now and what is coming in the future in the form of AI agents? So as you all know, AI has three very simple steps. See, if you go and distill all the complications in the AI world, there are only three things. There is an input, and after you give the input, there is an intelligent system that learns about what you just said and analyzes and processes it and gives you an output. As simple as that. For example, you go to DALL-E and say, look, I want to create an image. DALL-E takes your prompt, works on it, and processes it, and so on. And then it gives you an image. As simple as that. That's what's happening now. So that is being packaged in the form of a chatbot. Now, what is the difference between this and what is coming with AI agents? Let's have a deeper look. So AI agents are similar, but they have a slightly complicated middle part. See, this middle part, that's intelligence and learning. Now that starts getting a little more interesting. Let me explain. Once you give an input, the intelligence does it what it's doing now and it starts learning. But it's not just learning, but it learns in the next level by interpreting what you say and starts reasoning. The recent development with ChatGPT's O1 model, the code name for that is Strawberry. And the biggest point related to that model, the biggest differentiator compared to other models, is its ability to reason. So you will start hearing the word reasoning. What does that mean? That means like it starts thinking like a human being. It says, oh, is it right? Is it wrong? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it okay? So that reasoning capability starts coming in. So instead of just learning, it actually starts reasoning. So with AI agents, that starts to happen. And not just that, here is where the big differentiator comes between a normal AI and an AI agent. The AI agent is capable of taking action. Action is a very important word for here for you to understand what an agent does. So an agent is not only taking action within your AI chatbot, it has the capability to take actions even externally. It can go and interact with other systems. For example, you can create an AI agent that goes and talks to your website data. It can go and talk to your CRM. It can go and pull details from your Excel sheet or a PPT or even a completely different software like Salesforce or maybe HubSpot or various other software that we may be using for your ministry. So it goes and pulls all that information and it can take action based on that. And it can create workflows, it can create processes, and all of this starts happening. You see the difference? So it is not just chatting with a chatbot, just getting information, doing some basic things. That's now basic. Okay. I know we were all amazed at it 2 years ago, but now that's basic. Now you go to the next level and say, you not only do all of that, but you also take an action based on that. So you can say, look, I want you to go pull all the data from all my CRM and website and everything and start giving me some information about how they are reacting to a new campaign, how they are engaging with my ministry. What else can I do? That kind of thing. So you can go to the next level. And then what it happens is, here is an amazing thing. It starts learning and course correcting itself. So there is an iterative learning process. The AI not only does stuff for you, not only takes action, but it also, based on the output of the action, it keeps auto-correcting itself. And you can say, keep correcting yourself, keep learning as long as you come to a conclusion that you have created an awesome output for me. So that is a very big difference between what's happening now and what will happen in the future. It's not just saying, here is an input, here is the process, here is the output. See, many times when you create an image or you create a video, what do? You're not happy with the output, right? For example, you go to Midjourney and say, don't put text. Midjourney still gives you an image with text, right? We all have that frustration once in a while. And it doesn't exactly follow what you want. Why? Because there is no course correction. Now you can tell this agent, hey, understand what I'm saying. Then you go, create an action, go to external entities, get all the information you need. For example, even creating an image. After you create an image, look at that image and keep looking at it until you are sure that there is no text on that image. And then you give me that image. Get what I'm saying? So it's a little more advanced, it's a little more intense, and it's a little more powerful in terms of interacting with external entities. So that is what AI agents can do. And then finally, you get an output that you are happy with. So just to summarize what AI agents can do, I don't want to get too technical with it, but I want you to have a good enough understanding of how they work. So let's look at this summary. So there are 3 types of AI that we know of now, right? One is traditional AI. So the difference between the traditional, generative, and agentic. Let's have a quick look, right? First is in terms of primary function, the traditional AI is just automation of repetitive tasks. This is how it started, right? There is a repetitive task like working in a factory. Let's use AI. And then the autonomy was very low, which means you didn't give a lot of power to AI. It didn't work on its own. It needed rules and so on. And then the learning was to some level. There was some learning happening. And then we came to Gen AI, which happened in the last few years. And there it was like generation of text and images. It does have some autonomy depending on the prompts and so on. And data-driven learning, there's a lot of learning. So this is really advanced in terms of learning. But with agentic AI, it's a different story. Listen carefully. This is where I want you to pay attention. So the primary function is goal-oriented action. Like I said, it has a task and it goes and does action on that task. So it's goal-oriented and it makes decisions. And high autonomy, okay, minimal human intervention. Like I told you, if you create an image, you don't have to keep looking at it and saying, oh, it's wrong, let me give another prompt. You don't have to do that. It will do the repeat prompting. It will also go to external sources. It has minimal human oversight. And then finally, reinforcement learning. With reinforcement learning, it is able to auto-correct itself and make things better for you. Now you say, okay, Natchi, I get it. AI agents are the future. I know it is the future. Right now, what can I do about it? There are a couple of things you can do about it. One is you can look at existing AI agent system. The simplest example of an AI agent is Perplexity AI. Perplexity AI is at its basic fundamental format or the fundamental function. It's an AI agent. For example, it's an AI agent for search. So when you go to Perplexity app or you go to the website and you give a search query, what does it do? Unlike Google, where you type a search query and Google goes and fetches all the information that's there on the web, what Perplexity does is it takes the search query and it goes and taps into other AI. So it is actually going and thinking about it, reasoning about it, and self-correcting itself. So if you see, when you put a search query on Perplexity AI, you will see the process of its reasoning. For example, if I say, give me what's happening in US politics, and immediately it'll say, I am collecting information from news agencies. What are the recent events about US? So it start thinking, and you can see Perplexity AI give you a picture of how it's going about reasoning that query, and it will self-correct it. And not just that, it goes to other news sources, which are external entities, and it pulls all the information and it gives you in one way. So this is the simplest one. It does not give you a full picture or the potential of how AI agents can help you, but it gives you a very good idea of how it functions. Do look at how Perplexity AI works and you get an idea of how AI agents. But hold on, I have a better way for you to understand how AI agents work. To get started with AI, hands-on, there is a good first step, and it's called custom AI. So today, you can create an AI agent at a very basic level. You can get started with an idea of AI agent for your ministry using what we call as custom AI. What is custom AI? So ChatGPT, for example, released something called custom GPTs, right? Some of you may be already using custom GPTs. Basically, they're ChatGPTs, but with a specific task assigned to them. Again, we are talking about tasks and action, right? So that is what AI agents are at a very advanced level. So custom GPTs are in a very beginner level. They are like mini AI agents. So you can actually create an AI agent, give it certain instructions, and tell that agent to go and accomplish one task without you having to keep giving prompts and keep correcting it and so on. So I'm going to right now give you a demo. After I finish this, I'm going to jump into a demo of how to create a simple custom GPT on ChatGPT. I'm going to give you the demo on the ChatGPT platform, but having said that, it's not only ChatGPT. Claude, for example, has a custom GPT function called projects, right? And similarly, Gemini has its own custom GPT called Gems. So all the platforms are coming up with their own custom GPT versions because listen carefully, they all know that this is the first step towards AI agentification, right? So for the whole user base to get used to the idea of AI agents, they need to take the first baby step, and that is custom AI. That is why I wanted to cover this as part of the video. So let's dive right in. Let me quickly show you a demo of how to create custom GPT, one simple GPT inside ChatGPT. I'm going to walk you through step by step, and I'm going to create one GPT where you give one Bible verse and it does a few things. So let's dive right in and get a quick demo of how to create a custom GPT inside ChatGPT. Here we are inside ChatGPT, and first things first, in order to create custom GPTs, you need to have a paid account. So you need to be either a Plus member, which is the personal plan, or you need to have this business plan, which is a team plan, right? Or an enterprise plan. So you need to have one of these paid plans for you to be able to create custom GPTs. That's number one. You can't create in a free plan. You can use it as a free plan user, like you can use somebody else's custom GPT, or if you have a team, you create a custom GPT and make it public, your team will be able to use it. But you cannot create custom GPTs inside a free plan as of now. So now, in order to create custom GPTs, first you go into this Explore GPT tab here. Just click on it and you will enter into the GPT areas. So these are all the custom GPTs that other people have created. You can use it. Like for example, if you want Canva, you can click here and use Canva's custom GPT, image generator, all the various things. So do check it out, play around with it. In fact, I would say before you create your custom GPT, play around with this so you get an idea of what we are talking about. And before we start creating, I want to point out the things that your audience will see. Suppose you make it public or you share it with your team. This is what the person who's collaborating with you is going to see. Because I'm imagining you are going to create a custom GPT for you and your team, and you're going to collaborate with it inside your church or your ministry, or maybe even with your church members or your ministry audience. So either way, what would they see? Three things. First, they will see this picture. It's an icon that they will see that you're going to create. Number two is the title or the topic or the name of your custom GPT that you see here. And then the two lines that you see, that's the description of what it does. Quick, short description of what the custom GPT is about. And then it will be your name, right? Whoever created it. Now, let's create by clicking on the create button at the corner. Right? First, when you do not have any of your GPTs, you will not see this My GPT button. But once you start creating your GPTs, you will see this My GPT button. All the GPTs that you create for your ministry will live under this tab. But now we are going to create a new one. So I'm just going to click on plus create. Okay. I can create a GPT in two ways. One is called the create process, where ChatGPT will act as an assistant to help you create this custom GPT. So when you're starting out, I would recommend go this route, right? Just keep answering the questions that it asks you, and you would be able to create it. Start here, play around with it, create one or two samples, and then once you're comfortable, then you can go into these options. Both are pretty simple. First is the name. So I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Bible Verse Generator. I know it's not a very creative name, but you can call it anything. You can call it Bible Verse Buddy, Bible Verse Pal, or whatever name. If you want to give it a specific name, you can do that. If you're a ministry and you're going to use this internally, then you might want to actually add your department name or something like that. Basically, your team should be able to identify the GPT in a clear way. So just give it a name and then a description. I'm going to give this description that says a GPT for generating social media posts based on a Bible verse. So the vision that I have for this GPT is a very simple one. I'm going to give it a Bible verse and it's going to create social media posts for me. The next thing is instructions. Instructions are, look at this prompt. It says, what does this GPT do? How does it behave? What should it avoid doing? See, this is the information that you would constantly repeat if you don't have a custom GPT that we are trying to standardize, right? So you might want to be as detailed as possible here. Let me quickly type in the details, that I'll explain what I'm doing. Here we have the set of instructions that I've created. It is basically prompting. And I have a prompt method that I use with our students and ministries, which is called a GREAT method, where we have your goal, your role, the environment in which this operates, the action that needs to be taken, the target, and so on. I won't go into that explanation, but what we're doing is we are being good with prompting technique, and we're going to give as many details as possible. So the first thing I'm going to say, create social media posts based on a Bible verse. That's the goal. Number two, you are a Bible scholar and a social media expert. I'm giving it a role, right? What hat should ChatGPT wear? And then you are addressing people in the age group of 18 to 45. It's just the ministry that I want to have this GPT for, which is mostly working professionals, right? Because I like to minister to working professionals, just as an example, right? They are 18 to 45, working professionals. You are helping me create social media content that revolves around one Bible verse with the aim of inspiring people, explaining the verse, keeping it relevant to their everyday life. So you can add your own instructions. Do not add any of your own opinions or thoughts. I'm very clear. I don't want ChatGPT to hallucinate. Keep it professional, to the point, and educational, because that's the tone. I'm an educator and I want this to be educational, right? Refer to web resources from theological seminaries, top Bible scholars, and other reputed resources when you create this content. And then you go, based on the Bible verse, I would like you to create the following. Here you are giving it the action you want it to take. A prompt for generating an image using AI relevant to this Bible verse. So I want it to give me a prompt, which I can just copy and paste inside DALL-E or Canva or something and get an image quickly for social media. And then a tweet, an Instagram caption, a Facebook post, video script. Imagine, once you're able to create all of this from one single Bible verse, your team has everything they need to create that post. All you have to do as a pastor or a leader, listen carefully, this is the moment where you realize how this can be used. You just have a Bible verse and you give it to your team. You text it to them. They take it, put it inside this custom GPT, and out comes the Instagram post, an idea to generate an image, a Facebook post, a YouTube script, and everything. And then if you want, you can take that YouTube short script and you can create a YouTube short. So that's what this can do. All right. A conversation starter is something that appears here, something that initiates the chat. So you can say, enter Bible verse. That can be the conversation starter. You see here, this is the preview section where you can actually see how this custom GPT works. And here is the conversation starter. And then in the knowledge section, you can upload PDFs. This could be transcripts of your messages, or what I suggest is upload a branding document or a document that talks about your ministry. What your ministry stands for, who are your audience, how you communicate with them, what tone to use, what kind of post that you have. Maybe you add examples. Make it as long as you can, because the context window of ChatGPT has really expanded. So keep it a very detailed document, right, that talks about your ministry. Create that. You're just going to create it once, okay? If you want, you can actually take the help of ChatGPT to create this branding document and then upload it right here so that it has all the information it needs about your ministry. What I suggest is just create one or two samples of this information and also upload it so that it has a sample of what you're actually expecting. I'm not going to do this right now for sake of time, but you can do that, and I would highly recommend you do that, right? The more information you give here, it's all going to be just once, the better it is for you to get the output from custom GPT. And then you tick web browsing, DALL-E, and code interpreter based on the requirement. And then new actions or advanced facilities that you have for this custom GPT to interact with outside programs like your CRM and various other things. We are not going to get into that right now. This is all you need, basically. And the icon, just click on the plus button. You can upload a photo if you want, or you can use DALL-E. So I'm just going to ask DALL-E to create an icon. Let's see what it comes up with, right? There you go. That's what it came up with. So it doesn't look bad. I'm just going to go with it for now, but you can change it. You can go back and delete it and recreate and so on. So basically, our icon is ready. Our name is ready. You can give it like version 1 if you want, and you can just go ahead with it. So now let's test this thing, right? Now let me just shrink this a bit. And I'm going to give you a verse. Give me a good verse. All right. My favorite verse, Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, where God creates man and puts him in the Garden of Eden to work, right? That is pretty much the very first Bible verse that I use when I talk about work theology. All right. So Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, I'm just typing GEN 215, right? Regular format of Bible verse. And I'm just going to give enter. That's it. Let's see what happens. Voila. You got the Bible verse, you got the image prompt, and it's pretty good. Look at that prompt. It says, create an image of a serene, lush garden, right? The scene should evoke a sense of peace, responsibility, and stewardship. I like that because it's about work, right? So God placed Adam, look at the tweet. God placed Adam in Eden to work and care for the garden. Today we are called to be stewards of what God has entrusted to us. Isn't that good? I would totally tweet that. And it's got some hashtags and it's got a little emojis. You can change any of this. And it's got a Facebook post content and YouTube shorts video script as well. So the point is, once this is done, once I say create, let's just say create, right? Now it asks, is it only for you or anyone with the link or GPT store publicly available? I'm just going to say for now, anyone with the link, right? Now what I can do is I can just share this link with my team, right? And they can just start using it. As simple as that. So let's give it another scripture. Let's just say 1 Peter 5:5, which is another favorite scripture for me. All I did was just give that scripture, right? And I get this whole set again, right? I've got an image prompt of a younger person and an older person because it says submit to your elders, right? God reminds us how to submit to elders, how to be humble. So the whole thing about humility. Now you can change it, you can tweak it, but the point is it gets your team started on this process. I hope now you get a good picture of what AI agents can do, right? You can see how powerful they can be. Just one verse and the whole thing happened. This is just a small example, right? And it just operates based on the prompt and it doesn't even interact with that many external agents. Imagine when AI agents come. That's why I call it the future of AI. So it's going to revolutionize the way we function. It's still evolving. We are in early stages and it's something that is continuing to happen. But I want you to be aware of it. I want you to be open to the idea of employing AI agents, deploying AI agents into all that God has called you to do. So that's why I wanted to give this quick demo to you. So I just want to wrap up by saying, keep your mind open because using things like AI agents, custom AI, these are all tools that can give you enormous capability and potential to accomplish the Great Commission the way God has called you to do. I always say a tool is only as good as its craftsman and the context in which they use. For example, if you have a Swiss Army knife and if you are sitting on a stage delivering a speech, how is that Swiss Army knife useful for you? What may be more useful is something like this, a mic, right? A microphone is more useful on a stage than a Swiss Army knife. But if you are stuck in a forest and if you want a tool that can help you cut wood or something like that, this is where a Swiss Army knife comes. At that point, the microphone is not going to be useful for you. So a tool is always useful based on the context or what you're putting it to use for and where you are at a particular stage in your ministry. So think about it, right? What has God called you to do? What is your situation? What is your context? And how can AI help you? So you don't have to use any technology for the sake of it, but you use it based on the context and your need and how it can help you be more efficient. But I want to encourage you to continue experimentation. Don't stop it. Be curious. Be like a kid. There are going to be a lot of news and developments on the area of AI agentification in the days to come. And as a church, as a ministry, keep playing around with it. Deploy new things. Make some mistakes. That's the best way to learn with AI. It was useful. If you have any questions related to AI agents or you want to share anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be very happy to answer your questions. I am Natchi Lazarus on all social media platforms, so you can reach out to me. I pray that the eyes of your understanding will continue to remain open to see the possibilities of using technology, social media, and AI for the Great Commission. May God continue to lead you and guide you into greater things. God bless you. Stay connected and stay blessed.